Joining us now to talk about Think First program, Jello Brain, and the concussion notice. Three great topics is Mona Allan. She's a nurse member of the advisory committee for Think First. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
And so I want to start first off with Think First. What exactly is this program?
So Think First is actually a nonprofit organization. They do a lot of brain injury prevention, different things. So we do go into the schools. They are part of now Parachute Canada. They came together last year. They brought in 4 organizations to kind of group us together so that we could have a bigger impact on the brain injury prevention, education sessions, whatever it is, because there is a ton of stuff that they do. So I'm going to speak to a tiny little corner of it. So Think First is actually going to become Parachute Canada. Well, they are part of them. We're just in the process of changing the name right now.
There were so many different aspects of what each focused on. A lot of it was on bike helmets as well, right? And getting helmets onto a lot of these kids.
Yeah, so Think First Ottawa chapter does a lot of work on bike helmets. It's their passion. I think it's really maybe even where they started. I'm relatively new to the Think First family. It kind of came through with my master's studies last year. So I don't know historically that part, but we do have a lot that we do on helmets. So yeah, very exciting.
Okay, let's start with the Jello Brain.
Jello Brain.
This is what when you've got something visual and things that kids can touch, it really helps.
Yes, the children love this one. So I work with Dr. Vasiliati at Think First and his wife Tassie, and this is the hot thing du jour. So when we do our educational session, go ahead and touch it, Leanne, please do.
Okay.
So
it's bizarre. It does have a bizarre texture and feel to it.
So what they do say, Dr. Vasiliati is a neurosurgeon. So he says it actually feels exactly like that, except that it's warmer and it pulsates. So I don't know. I can't say that I've ever felt a live brain pulsating, but that's apparently exactly what it feels like.
That's it. Just you add the heat and you add the pulsing, and that's the type. That's what Dr. Vasiliati is working with. This is something that they really like to take into the schools, and a part of Brain Day as well.
So Brain Day, I believe, is in October, and it is, I think, medical students who go into the grade schools and do some teaching about the brain, how it works, and obviously our brain injury component usually comes in. So this one here is another demonstration that they do in the schools. I can't do it today because we're on a turf, but we put an egg, just a normal egg, into the helmet, and then we'll drop it so that it shows when it drops, the egg does not break. So it shows the importance of wearing a helmet. Just like your brain, the outer shell is there, but the inside is sitting, so it protects a little bit. So the helmet ultimately will protect your head. So then what we do is we'll put the egg in the bag to prove to them that it's not actually a hard-boiled egg.
And you'll see what happens. One thing that you did, and this was a huge part of your studies, and I think this is what's going to be the hot topic, and what a lot of the coaches and the trainers are going to be looking for, is this concussion notice. So what's the idea behind this?
So the idea behind this really stemmed from my years of experience as a trainer on the sidelines of hockey, football. I've done it for gymnastics, rugby. I kind of push my way in wherever I can. But the tool was developed because we were getting children who were possibly sustaining concussions. I can't diagnose them on the sideline, but I can assess them. And I was sending them home saying, look for this, this, and this, when to go to emergency, but they weren't really remembering
all of the details.
Anything. So what I did was I would send them home with this sheet. It actually started out on a business card with when to go to the hospital. And I was getting so many phone calls at home, I developed this form. So it's kind of evolved.
You've got the symptoms experience. So what happened when the coach or the trainer talked to the athlete there? They'll go through exactly all of the different symptoms and to the varying degrees of them.
Yeah.
And then what happens next, what you need to be doing.
Right. So the symptoms also helps with the physician. So when they do go to the physician, they know exactly where they had the head impact and what symptoms were experienced on the sideline. So it helps the physicians to assess their children in their office. What to do next, it's more a what not to do, to keep that brain calm.
And then very clear, I think what's great is you have things for the teachers as well. If the student had a concussion, how to see them, what's happening in class, and if there's so much information information. So where
Yes.
can people find this right now?
So right now it's just gone out to ThinkFirst because I've just finished my studies, and now you'll be able to contact Parachute Canada at info@parachutecanada.org, and they will get in touch with you on how to contact.
How to get these. These are great. Thank you so much, and great information.
Perfect.
And congratulations on this on the concussion notice.